Have you ever felt like something that you did years ago still follows you around? A memory from your past shows up suddenly, and the moment that it does, you feel the same regret all over again. Maybe it was a decision that you made, or something you said, or a relationship that you mishandled. Even if it happened years ago, it still feels close enough for you to cringe over it. And when that memory comes up, it might bring with it a question that you don't know how to answer, which is, how do I move forward from something that I can't undo? Well, if you have been feeling haunted by a past mistake, then today we're going to explore why that moment keeps echoing through your life and look at how to start loosening its grip on you. Welcome to the Confident Christian Woman podcast, where we tackle questions about things that have been keeping you stuck in unfulfillment, dissatisfaction, or straight up misery. This is where you'll find the help you need to move forward from confusion, fear, or self-doubt into joy, fulfillment, and peace. This is where we become confident Christian women who not only believe, we obey. Now, let's dive in. For the past few weeks, we've been in the middle of a series of episodes where we've been addressing super short messages that people have sent me. Some of these messages have been so short and so lacking in detail that we could go in lots of different directions with them, but I don't want to leave them unaddressed. So we're dealing with them one by one, and for each of them, going in a direction that I believe will help the people in this community the most. So today's message is one of the shortest that I have ever received. It's a reply that I received from someone when I asked about what's holding her back from taking the next step in her life, and she simply said, past mistakes. So our question for today is, how do I move forward when my past mistakes still haunt me? Some people are weighed down with moments from their past that continue to be a burden in their present. Even years later, those memories can surface unexpectedly, bringing with them familiar feelings like regret or embarrassment or self-judgment. So if that resonates with you, let me ask you something. When that memory comes up, what story do you tell yourself about it? Do you see it as something that happened, or do you see it as something that defines you? Because sometimes the reason why past mistakes haunt us is that we've attached them to our identity. We believe that the mistake says something permanent about who we are. Another possibility is that we've never fully received God's forgiveness, right? So maybe you've asked God for forgiveness 1,000,000 times, but you haven't actually opened your hands and received the forgiveness that He willingly is trying to give you. Maybe you have allowed shame to convince you that you don't deserve it. But the Bible is filled, chock full of stories of people whose worst mistakes didn't become the end of their story. Quick pause. Did someone come to mind as you've been listening? If so, would you share this episode with them? You never know how much they might need it right now. It's a simple way to encourage or inspire someone else. All right, let's jump back into today's episode. I'm talking about people like David, who failed with the whole Bathsheba and Uriah episode. Peter, who failed when he denied Jesus 3 times. And Paul, who failed when in his zealousness, he persecuted Jesus' followers. These people's failures were very real, but God proclaimed that those failures were not the end for them. It wasn't the finish of their story. So here's a question for you to ponder. If you are finding that past mistakes haunt you and hold you back from taking your next step, what do you believe that your past mistakes says about your future? Could it become something that God redeems? I'm a huge example of this, okay? I spent several years living with a man who I wasn't married to, trying to have a child with this man who I was not married to, making a whole mess of my life, being fake, lying to myself and other people about all kinds of things. And God has redeemed all of it. All of it. Because I gave it to Him, started telling the truth, and refused to live lies anymore. Another question worth asking is this one. Is it possible that you're holding on to shame over your past mistake because you believe that hanging on to it protects you from repeating the mistake? So you might think, for example, if I stop feeling bad about this, then I'll become careless again and make the same mistake again. So your shame or your regret becomes kind of like a safety mechanism for you. But living with the weight of your past mistakes isn't the same as growing and maturing from them. Those are two different things. Growth happens when you examine the lesson, when you accept God's forgiveness, and maybe forgiveness from other people, including yourself, and then move forward differently. So if your past still haunts you, then you have a golden opportunity right now to explore what belief is keeping that mistake moment alive in your mind. And once that belief is exposed, it's very likely to lose most, if not all, of its power. So if past mistakes still haunt you, it may not actually be the event itself that's holding you back. It may be the meaning that you have attached to it. Maybe you believe that that mistake disqualifies you. Maybe you believe that it says something permanent about your character. Or maybe you believe that your future is limited because of it. But if you search scripture, you will find that throughout it, you'll see a very different story. Some of the people that God used the most powerfully had very real failures in their past. Look at Rahab. He didn't erase their mistakes, okay? In fact, they're there for generations upon generations like you and me to see and learn from. Because these people allowed God to redeem them, redeem their mistakes. And redemption does not mean pretending that the thing never happened. It means that the moment no longer gets to have the final say over your life and over your future. Thanks for tuning in today. Before you go, can I ask a small favor? If this episode encouraged or inspired you, would you please take a moment to leave a quick rating and review? It helps other women find the podcast and start getting unstuck, just like you have. Thanks for being a rock star.